And now, after years of planning, sweating, and going broke, here is the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
I'll alert the media.
Why they would give this man a podcast is anyone's guess.
Then there is what could only be a bizarre coincidence or something else.
Welcome to the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Country music and fine moonshine. Finally, a podcast that lets it all hang out.
Let's level with America.
Got your boots? Ready for some whiskey?
These boots are made for walking.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And now, the Boots and Whiskey Podcast with Jim Belisle.
Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2, I guess, of our Kenny Feidler episodes. If you listen to Tuesday's episode, you're going to hear some of the same, not a lot of the same, but some same things as you heard on Tuesday, but you're going to hear a lot of other cooler things, I think. I thought this conversation, nothing against Tuesdays, but this conversation is a lot better. That's why we're doing it now on Thursday. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Not much of an intro here, just kind of like, here we are, part 2. We are also going to throw you a fun surprise episode this weekend. And then next week, next Tuesday, we're going to have Craig Morgan on the show. So all those things are coming. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll see you on the flip side. Cheers. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Let's do this part 2. This is part 2.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. Nobody's going to ever hear the first one.
Yeah, I made sure the phone was charged today.
It's fine.
So,
it's fine.
Well, this is better. I'm at home, and the other day I was down just in a parking lot at McDonald's, so this is way
listen,
better.
I was just saying, I'm at my friend's house, and I said, you know what, I want McDonald's. And she goes, you don't have time for that. And I was like, I don't, but that's what I want right now. So how was your trip to Arizona?
It was great. Yeah. We just hung out for a week and got some new tattoos. My buddy's got a shop there north of Phoenix, and we always get tattooed whenever we go down, and hung out with grandma, and the boys had a good time. So
that's all that matters, man.
Yeah, it was great.
So how many tattoos you got?
Quite a couple.
Quite a couple?
Yeah. I guess every time I go to Arizona, I go to Arizona Classic Tattoo Company. But my friend Drew has that shop, and whenever we're playing down there or just visiting, always get something.
Nice.
So yeah.
Now I saw that you have one on your hand. Did that hurt?
No. Actually, I don't think they really hurt. I think they hurt less.
Okay.
I don't know about mine are just on the back of the hand. I don't know if the knuckles and stuff get pretty gnarly or not, but yeah, nothing. And Drew kind of tattoos to the bone too, so I guess I would know if it did hurt, but the arms and stuff don't really bug me too much.
I had got my forearm done this year, and it's got my boys' birthdays on them, and then I have some sunflowers around it, and I got the birthdays done first in Roman numerals, and I was like, oh, that's not nothing. That's nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then when my tattoo guy, he did the sunflowers, like he's pulling me and pushing me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like that was worse than the needles themselves.
Yeah. I think if you start getting into the torso, like Kellen's got like Dwayne Allman and Ronnie Van Zant, and like he's got some really nice killer tattoos. Like look like real life, but
oh shit.
Yeah. I just think of the heel time. Like that's what always sucks about it. Just having to ride home with that on top of however digging into your belly or something.
Yeah, when I got my first one, I had just gotten my Jeep, so it was like in June, and me being me, I needed to have my roof off, my doors off, and like they're like, don't let it get too much sun, and it's like, So I had sunblock on me for like 2 or 3 weeks nonstop.
Yeah.
And like trying to make it so that it didn't get sun, and it was brutal.
Yeah, after a while, you just really don't give a
You're
shit.
like,
Yeah,
right, you're like, fuck it, I don't care.
yeah.
Right,
No aftercare or anything.
right. Like
But
one of my sunflowers like got really itchy, and like I tried to like rub it, and it like scabbed, and like the scab came off, and like so like there's like a little scar in one of the sunflowers, which is kind of really apropos. But
lesson learned.
yeah, it is what it is, right? So yeah, like welcome back, I guess.
Yeah. And
You know,
I mean, feel free if you do have like my memory is not great, so
me neither.
if there's anything you want to hit on again and stuff,
Yeah, man.
I'm
Like,
down.
I want to hit on all of it again, more or
Yeah.
less. Like, because all I can think about is fucking Matt Westerman for some reason, and all because I had talked to Matt not a few weeks ago, like not last week, and the weekend before, and we talked about you, and but we'll get into that. So,
Sure.
how did you get into this?
Yeah, I would just when I got into rodeoing, and like I'm from Maryland originally, and got into rodeoing, and went to school out in Oklahoma, and yeah, I don't know, I think I kind of just I really like Crystal Dues music's the reason I got into that, and being kind of an outsider on it, I feel like I just kind of soaked it all, soaking all that stuff up, and so that was the stuff I wrote about, and it was just for me for the longest time, and when you're in college, you just kind of do stuff, play guitar at parties and messing around, and then once I think it was winter of like 2019, like I was working full time, driving truck, cleaning feedlots, and my brother-in-law has a manure spreading business, and I did that for right when we started having our kids, just to health insurance and stuff like that, and I was just kind of getting run down, and it was not enough time at home, and I just thought, well, my wife, she like kind of pushed me into doing, really taking music serious, and so yeah, I just kind of quit. We were doing all right with streaming and stuff like that. It was like it was like not a safe bet, but enough to like take the leap, and so I quit working then and quit my job, and then just went into really doing this full time, and I've even before it was the full time gig, I've always taken it serious, and and then especially early on, like I was very like always looking to handle all sides of it and make sure, like, business wise, I was doing everything possible to make it like profitable for me and for my band, and the merch, and just early a few years back, like I definitely traveled way more like erratically, and if someone was gonna have us play somewhere, I was just gonna take the shot to go out and play for a new crowd, whether it was like the money worked out or not, and
Sure.
and now we've kind of got it honed in better, and our booking agent Ted does a killer job, and we try to work a lot smarter with it, and test markets when we can, but also not go eat total shit on a Tuesday night somewhere or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of leveled out to where it's we're really, really happy with and proud of what we got going. So yeah, long answer.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect answer. Now, so like you grew up in the rodeo scene, is that right? Is that
No, I was like the only one in my family to rodeo. I think my cousin rodeoed a little bit, and but yeah, I was the first one to out of my immediate family do it, and yeah, just got into riding bulls, and then I started riding bareback horses. And
so what the fuck made you do that?
I just wanted to be a cowboy when I was younger. It's weird.
In the great state of Maryland.
Yeah. I just I never really felt like it was a place for me. I don't know. And like my family my parents were really supportive and helped me, get into doing the high school. Like Pennsylvania has like high school rodeo, and
really,
yeah.
No
and
shit.
there's a lot more now back there that has high school rodeo and stuff like that. And but yeah, it was kind of just got into it, and then it was kind of a stab in the dark when went to college. Like I wanted to find a 4-year school, and a school that had a rodeo team, and so I think I narrowed it down to like it's either going to be University of Wyoming or this small school, Northwestern Oklahoma State, out in Alva, Oklahoma, and I ended up going to Alva, and was there for did my 4 years, and then stayed on another 2 while my wife was finishing out her degree, and yeah, it was the whole college thing was like I can't really remember anything I learned in college, but like a lot of the people I was around, I met through it. Had to learn how to be a blacksmith when I was in college. Like this guy down the street from me, I went and was doing like outside work for him and his wife, like yard work and stuff, and he had ALS, and just wasn't able to really get around real good, and he ended up teaching me how to blacksmith, and him and I had like a little blacksmithing business for a while, and yeah, it's crazy, like just those the people that put me around, it all worked out, and like Mike, the guy that taught me, like he's around, and he's like another grandparent to me now. Met my wife down there, and then all the rodeo story, stuff that kind of made into the songs. Like I wrote a lot of those songs while I was living down there, and I had a boot repair shop for a while, and some of those recordings are from out of that boot repair shop. It's just a little PC mic, and just learning how to play the guitar, and just recording them and putting them right out into the world, I guess. So,
like it just blows my mind, because it's like I think about it, right? And like living up here where I am, right? We have a rodeo that goes every Saturday during the summer, right? But like there's really not, there's no like rodeo club in high school, right? There's none of that.
Yeah.
But like, where you talk about it, like I've never even heard of rodeo, having rodeo at school.
Oh,
right?
Well, like high school stuff, like it's like totally, it's like it'd be more like travel team, in high school. It's not like a school affiliated with your high school, but in college, yeah, in college though, there's an intercollegiate rodeo association, and
really,
and then schools have their teams, and
holy shit. Now that's gonna be like a Midwest South kind of thing.
It's pretty much everywhere except the Northeast.
I was just gonna say, like,
yeah, I mean,
Boston
maybe
College doesn't have a rodeo.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, I'd say pretty much. I think maybe Iowa might be the furthest east, and then Johnton over maybe Tennessee, like, but that section, and then all west, they all have college rodeo.
No, all right. So it's actually kind of perfect. I mean, by the time this comes out, we have already come and gone, but every time PBR comes up here, we cover it, right? And this weekend coming that we're currently talking is PBR weekend up here. And PBR and like rodeo are very different things.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how, in your experience, right? If you take the bull riding aspect out of a rodeo, I mean, is it really exciting?
I mean, I just think like the rough stock, like the bareback riding, the saddle bronc riding, and the bull riding, like those are like your main,
right?
You know, entertainment.
Sure.
And then, I mean, not to shit on the rest of the events, but it's just not as exciting, and so that's why bareback riding's in the beginning, saddle bronc's kind of in the middle, bull riding's at the very end. So it's kind of like a good for show wise, and that's why there's a lot of those events that are just rough stock, events, because it's kind of your higher energy stuff. But yeah.
So you've gotten on a bull.
Yeah, I rode bulls from, I think, my freshman year of high school until my freshman year at college. Like, I rode bulls college rodeo a little bit, but I was so bad at it and just sucked at it. So I just got into riding bareback horses instead.
Okay. Is that something you can become good at?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of that stuff is. I mean, I think like watching bull riding, like there's a lot of stuff that it just seems so insane. Like especially in like at the PBR level and the top, PRCA level, at some of the stock, it's crazy that anyone can ride them.
Right, but those bulls are fucking huge.
Yeah, and just like the moves are so gnarly. But I mean, that's the same thing with like even like bucking horses, like the like those genetics are all bred for them to be that way. So they increasingly get more powerful and better moves in them, as the years go by and people putting the money into them.
Now, would you rather be bucked off a horse or a bull?
Just a horse probably.
Yeah.
I guess I've gotten bucked off both plenty, but yeah, I've just like with bareback riding, it's there's like a couple fundamentals that if you learn those on the ground, and you can actually do like groundwork on like a spur board and stuff and get considerably better, like without even like real live practice.
Right.
Those bull riding, I don't know how there's some of that stuff that those guys are just. It's just, I don't know. No, I was never good enough at it to tell you about bull riding. But
now, how do you practice that?
I mean, they just either you're just getting on, and then you can have like for like bareback horses and broncs, like you can have a spur board.
Okay.
You put your rigging on, and you practice like your fundamentals, and you're pretty much over exaggerating the same things that you're doing, same spurring motion you're doing on a horse. And it does work. With bull riding stuff, I know those guys, they do have things that they practice like that aren't live practice too, but it seems like with both of them, there's still got to be plenty of just live shit to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember the first PBR we covered for the podcast. And, when they sent me my media packet, it was like, because there's people out there that are like, the bulls are being abused and, PETA and all that shit. And like they went through, like, there was like a whole section of like, these bulls are treated better than the fucking riders are.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like the amount of money that stock costs, it's like, I mean, yeah, they're taken good care of.
Right.
So, and they work like 8 to 10 seconds of,
right.
They're not getting hauled every day. So I'd say it's a pretty good pretty good deal.
Absolutely.
Better than being burger, I guess.
right. It's funny because it's like I've seen PBR now this will be year 4, I think, of seeing, maybe year 3, I don't know, but like I had gone to the New England rodeo that we have here, and it was great. Don't get me wrong. Like for the price of admission, it was like a 4 or 5 hour show. It was awesome. Great time. But it was like there was like a excitement piece missing.
Yeah.
You know, because
well,
when
they
for
really
like us,
packaged that.
what's
They
that?
really like the PBRs. Like that's why it's blown up so much bigger. They've just really, besides the event being like, the thrills and spills of rodeo, like they've just really made it into such an entertainment machine too,
Right.
and they've just done it right.
Right. It's like NASCAR.
Yeah, really. It's they've done things that CM and Pro Rodeo is all like, there's a sanctioning body, but it comes down to like those individual towns are putting on these events, and they're hiring the contractors, and they're putting, it's very much a labor of love of a committee and the community for most of those rodeos, whereas the PBR is more like the traveling circus,
right,
where they can control those factors and maximize it to what's going to be the best for their
brand,
their brand.
Right, right. And like that's what kind of sucks about seeing PBR up here in the Northeast, where it's like, you're going to get a show, right?
Yeah.
But you're not getting rodeo like, or PBR like if you were getting it in Fort Worth.
Sure.
And like that's okay. Like it is what it is.
It's different. Yeah.
Like you're not seeing it on a massive scale.
Yeah. Well, it's just so different. That's just like rodeo is such a normal thing to everyone out here, and like it's just it was a very special thing for us back east to have any access to that. And
right.
Like kids out here, like my kids have gotten into started little junior rodeo thing last year, and like it's just part of life out here.
I was gonna say this to you tonight, but and I don't mean like as a dad, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 boys of my own and stuff, but like I gotta say, I've seen pictures of your boys in like their cowboy hats and their belt buckles. Like they are fucking adorable.
Oh, thanks, man.
Like that is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
And my kids are really lucky. They're great kids too, and I'm sure all parents think that about their kids. And but yeah, like we homeschool. Like my mom lives on our place, and she has a house here, and she's a retired school teacher. So my boys,
perfect.
They go to school for an hour or two a day, and then they get to kind of run feral the rest of the time. And we have enough land to keep a horse or two here, and then my in-laws' place in Phillip. That's a multi-generation family ranch, so my boys are part of that too. So
that's awesome.
We're so lucky that they get to have all that.
So if I remember right, you were, and again, if I get this wrong, I'm sorry, but you're in South Dakota?
Yes. Yep.
So your wife's from South Dakota?
Yeah, my wife's from Phillip, and that's I don't know, this might be a deep cut for someone very back east, but it's not very far from Wall Drug, South Dakota, and there's Wall Drug advertisement signs all over the country. It's like right north of the Badlands, but then we live just an hour west, right, kind of close to Rapid City.
Okay,
so
all right.
But
so you're kind of close to civilization.
Oh yeah. We live 30 miles from Rapid City.
All right,
and so it's a quick drive into town, but we're also, we just got lucky with the place that we ended up buying. We just got a little bit of land, and we're 10 miles off the interstate. And,
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Especially for, now with that being said, is your band all close to where you are so you guys can kind of like centralize and just go?
Yeah, everybody, and our band is like our bass player just, our bass player the past couple of years, he just retired from the band here at the end of last year, and he went back to his family ranch in Lemon, South Dakota. But me, Tom, our drummer, who lives in Rapid, Tom's got a studio in Rapid, and Casey, our lead guitar player, he lives in Rapid, and then Matt, our pedal steel player, he lives in Glasgow, Montana, which is like probably 7 hours away.
Jesus.
And Joey, our bass player, that just joined, he's out of Grand Junction, which is like 8 or 9 hours away. So it's not super handy, and like Joey will come stay here, and he just joined the band too. So we're gonna try to get him talked into moving up here just to be closer. And Matt likes living in Montana, so I don't know if we'll get him talked into it. But and then Dan, our tour manager, he lives just north of Rapid City, so good chunk of us are here. And then
Nice.
Everybody, Joey and Matt, they kind of have to travel or meet up with us along the way. And it's a lot of driving for those guys they'll drive over here the night before and then load up with us, and then we'll go drive 9 hours somewhere else,
Right.
So it's a haul.
It's funny. I mean, as an East Coast guy, right? Where, like, from where I am, if I got in a car and drove 8-9 hours, I'm in like Washington D.C.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's like states and states away.
Yeah, we make it to Western Montana by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I tell people all the time, it's like, especially guys and artists that haven't been up in the Northeast and stuff. It's like, I get in my car, I drive 3 hours, I'm in New York City.
Yeah, it's, and even like I rodeoed back east some, and the amount of like extra time that you would have to factor in for anything, like if you went to New York or something like that, you just never know if you're going to be sitting in traffic for like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
Out here, we're pretty much, cover 70 miles in an hour, and that's pretty true. Pretty much all the way anywhere around here.
Yeah.
Unless wintertime. But
right.
But, no, I like. I'm really. There was a time where I thought, right when I was really getting serious about playing and doing this full time, and we had like a large listenership in Texas, and some people think we're from Texas or like a Texas band.
I mean, I did. I thought you were.
Yeah, and I mean, I was Oklahoma for a long time, so that's kind of where I started. So that kind of did that too. But anyway, I was thinking that just the being a Texas band, was so important for the kind of music that we made that maybe I did have to live there, and that was probably right around 2019 or so, right when I started going full time. I considered it, and then the longer we've been doing this, I'm just really glad we stayed, and I'm really proud of where we live. Like, it's our home, and there's a lot of cool. It's not really much of a music scene in South Dakota. Like, we play in South Dakota, we play in Sturgis once or twice a year, and that's it. We travel out of state for everything else, so we don't rely on the local scene to be our moneymaker.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of not to say it keeps you from getting spoiled, but we really do appreciate getting to go to all those other towns, and geography doesn't really factor in a whole lot to us where we're going to play.
Yeah.
We just take it to try to work different markets and make sure we're continually branching out, and like the East is really the only thing we haven't done yet, and we're starting to push out that way. We just got an Ohio show we're gonna do, and got a Louisville, Kentucky show on the books for this spring. So like we're starting to branch out that way a little bit, and that's what we've just done in the past. We'd go, and you pretty much got to gain confidence of the clubs to have you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a different kind of beast at this point where, a booking is handling that now. It's not so much us trying to let someone just give us a chance at all, but, we're doing it's more of a fair deal now where we still stick our neck out travel wise and time wise, and to make those shows a success.
Right. Now, so like outside of Oklahoma and Texas, where are you seeing your most like how do I put this without sounding like a dick?
No, you're fine.
Like profitable. Like what's the most profitable place outside of Texas and Oklahoma?
It's all
You're like nowhere.
I don't really make that much money anywhere. It's it's all really scalable. I mean, because there's places that like we'll play Buck's Bar outside of Omaha, and it's 140 person room, and we'll sell that sucker out, and we'll sell $3,000 in merch, and then you can go to some other places where you might have a bigger crowd, but maybe not quite the merch sales. So like everything, I mean, here lately everything's been pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, we try to like. Seems like our merch numbers continually grow, and I can't really say a definite of like that's like the honey hole for one particular spot or the other. Montana's always been really great for us, and the Midwest is continually growing for us pretty quick. Seems like we started doing, I'd gone out to Indiana a couple times, play a little bar there called Duke's before we really were gaining anything, and would play for 30 people the first time, 60 people the second time, and then now we've started to jump on some shows with Josh Malloy, and that's been a great thing for us to get into those. Like we've gone up to like Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Indianapolis, and hit some of those places where we probably still do okay, but not. It's not going to be we're not just be selling out the room,
Right. Yep.
And you get in front of some new people and make some fans before going back on our own. So that's been really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's and that's really we really haven't done a whole lot of support for anybody for a long time. This past couple years, we were just kind of carving it out on our own, and then we'd have friends that were on the same agency or that would come and we'd carry support, and so it was our own little band group of misfits going out there trying to cut it out, and never really had that farm league system where we got to go just go open tours. It's been nice that Josh has been having us on. Just never really had a whole lot of that, so I really appreciate it now, because I mean that's just and it's also good because we've been doing it long enough and we travel enough that we actually, it's not just completely like Josh can sell out rooms by himself, he doesn't need us, but we do sell tickets, and we do have we know that we'll contribute to the bill if someone has us on now, and it's a good spot to be. It doesn't feel like it's just a, and contribute to the show also. It doesn't feel like it's just like, hey, do me a solid, bro, and put me on. But I feel like we get to bring something to the table, so that does feel good. And it's made me appreciate that stuff because just from not having it before. So it's nice just to kind of we normally do like a 2-hour set these days, and so getting to go do a 45-minute thing of bangers and go just not have to worry about promoting a show or something, doing all the advertising and stuff that I've worried about for years. It's nice to have a break from that every once in a while, and
I'm sure
so it's great.
And and that way you can focus more on the music and the art and all that, rather than
it seems like it's never that it's not in focus. It seems like sometimes when you're out headlining stuff, when you're still trying to break markets, it just seems like the level of the stress involved with it to make sure we've just always been very concerned with doing right by the venues that have us and making sure that, if someone has us out, like, we want it to be profitable. We don't want your guarantee, we don't want your guarantee. We want to break that sucker and have it, be way bigger than that. So I've just always kept that in perspective from even pretty early on. And I think that's why we got good relationships with the venues we work with, just because I've always had that in mind. And I never thought of it as a, you're going to pay me kind of thing. It's always more of a, it's a partnership and we got to do our part and bring people out. It's just what we've always tried to do.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Because I've had conversations kind of off the record with people, but this is maybe the first on the record conversation I've had about it. But when you get to a point, right, where you got some legs, you've got some ground under you, people are paying attention, the whole 9 yards, right? How much of it is up to the venue and then up to you to bring people in? Like, what would that percentage be?
I think it's all on the band.
Oh, really?
That's how, the deals are structured. It just depends. Like, there's, a lot of times things are off a percentage of the door, and, the idea of bringing people in, I think, needs to come from the band.
Yeah.
And that's a hard spot to be in when you don't have the when you don't have the draw to bring those people in, because like
Sure.
And that's why deals vary so much. It's why when you're like cutting teeth, you're going and getting paid a shitty little chunk.
Go ahead, you can say it. You can take Josh's line. It's a shitty door deal.
Yeah, and we're still taking plenty of those, but those door deals that's where it's tough, but you're also proving your value, because I think sometimes when you're starting out, and maybe even guys that get bigger, like you just expect so much to be built in, or you expect to get paid whether you're getting people there or not. But you put that in front of a business, it's like they pretty much all what we ask for them for the most part. And I'm not spilling like any of our booking agent stuff. Like, we just want a fair deal. Like, half the time we're not concerned about the guaranteed money, because like, it's a drop in the hat to our expenses. Like, we need to do better than that anyway. And there's been a lot of clubs that and mostly promoters, like a lot of promoters get involved, and this is where we'll do the hard hitting takes here. But there's times where promoters get involved, and they have so many expenses on these door deals where they about make it impossible for you to break the guarantee.
Right.
And realistically, so it's like, hey, instead of wasting our time, you should have just shot over, your shitty number that you intended on paying the band, and not even, feed into the illusion that there's more money to be made. Right. So like that's been like the biggest thing, because like half the time, if venues will just like give us a good percentage on of the ticket and not hit us with a ton of expenses, man, it opens up a lot of we have the motivation to sell tickets. Like, we're taking a lot of risk. We're not asking for upfront money like that. And so there's it's beneficial for both of us. And I just think that's like the, at least in the stage that we're in, where we are doing a lot of door deals, like that's where it's like, we're not trying to get, money from the club. We're trying to sell tickets. And, right. And we just started icing some of those, venues that, have $3,000 or $4,000 in expenses. It's like,
right.
And these aren't massive. These aren't arenas, obviously. Like,
sure.
And I'm sure there's expenses involved, but sometimes it just gets crazy. And yeah, we're half the time we're just looking for a fair shake. And luckily we have Ted with a Wild River Talent booking agency that works so good for us, and he works for Josh too, and we're both lucky to have him. We trust him and how he does business, and yeah, we're all professionals, and
right.
And you'd blow your mind sometimes the offers that come in. It's just like, this isn't even realistic.
Honestly, like I guess I've gotten a little, I don't know how to put this. Like, I think I've stopped caring, right? When it comes to like these conversations and not talking about it, because I think it's important.
Oh,
where, like, I was talking to Jarrett Reddick a couple of weeks ago, and his episode's going to be coming out. He's the lead singer for Bowling for Soup.
Yep.
And like, we talked at length about merch and how venues are trying to like fuck artists and all this stuff, and like he's seen it from a different level, right?
Yeah, and over different time periods too.
Right.
Yep.
And then we were talking about how, like, a couple of years ago or whatever it was, when BJ from American Aquarium called it out, and everybody went, "What the like what?"
Yeah.
Like, and like, from like the quote unquote everyday person, like, you don't think about that, right? You go to a show, you buy a T-shirt, you don't think that, oh, a percentage of this is going to go back to the venue or to Live Nation or whatever, like,
sure.
That's why I always try to buy merch now.
Yeah, merch is so important, and that we've ran into a couple times. There's been times like when if we're support, it's not our place. Like, I can find somebody else to do support, so we don't really have a dog in that fight. But we've had it at some venues and wherever there's been a merch cut. Where they weren't providing anything, or I don't know. It's all dirty. It's not right. No matter, like, either way. But when if there's like large, like, guaranteed money involved, maybe I see sides of it. If they're providing, a seller, if it's I don't even think festivals should have it either, but maybe when they're providing like a service to do that, there's parts that you can understand. But yeah, we've had it a couple times where the venue just would not give on the merch cut, and then I just didn't sell merch that night. Like,
right,
and that sucks, because like they would. And I think it's really only one or two venues this has happened, besides like support things where it's gotten hit up. But it's like, you just took all the profit. We didn't like, it wasn't like a sold out show. We made enough, like, good tickets, but you could have really like sealed the deal for the band and made them want to be back here again if you would have just waived that.
Right.
And it's just an insane principle anyway
to
think that something that you have no hand in, that you could sell like that or take a cut of. I just don't know. Yeah, across the board, it's not right.
Yeah, like, I had worked when I was in my 20s. I had worked at a venue up here, and I was like a bar back or whatever, and one of the managers was like, "Oh, the show's over. I gotta go. I gotta go settle up with the merch." And I was like, and like, at that point, like, I wasn't into all this shit and all that, and like, even at that point, I was like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just wild to me, But like, at the same time, it's like, you go to a Live Nation show, an event, and even though like, those venues are taking a percentage, like, you think about how much merch is sold in a night in a big show like that, right?
Oh yeah, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Right.
Way more than that probably. I mean, that's just my little peon knowledge, for some of those bigger ones.
Right. but even if they take like a percent, right?
Yeah.
A percent of 20K is quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a math guy. I could
Yeah, me
give
neither.
you a number. I have no idea what that would
Yeah.
be.
Well, and the insane part of it too. I mean, it's all crazy, but like also just like, you know, even when they start looking at percentages, it's like you're not factoring in profit, like
No.
the cost to the band, like the way we do merch. Like we do our hats in house, and we control a lot of the costs to make our margins good. But there's a lot of people that don't do that, and I know what they pay for some of their merch, and then what they sell it for. I'm like, you start taking 10-20%, like there's not much left of profit for that band. It's like, why even bother? So
Right.
And that's why those few times that we've came across that, we're not like in the position for some of those places to be like, oh, there might be a venue you want to play or market, and like, or maybe there's a market where it's the same across the board. And it's like, I still need to play around this area. Like, I'm not big enough to just tell everyone to eat shit. So I still got to work. And then, people will always say, well, you signed the contract and stuff. It's like, yeah, to do a show, like we're well aware, like, and that's like, we've never made too big of a deal. Normally we just tell people no from the get-go if it's going to be a big thing. And yeah, it's not right. And
No.
Hopefully that's changing for the most part. I mean, I think like that was really great, like what BJ did with that, like brought a lot of awareness to, and that's someone like I've always really respected how I've watched BJ really hard with how he runs his business. Like there's things like you can kind of try to read into, like when you're getting your band together and doing stuff, and where you try to be better about certain things, and like I've watched how he sets his website up, and I try to look at people that are successful, that you can tell that they do a lot of stuff on their own, and I do a lot of stuff on my own, but that was like one of those guys that I really did watch pretty hard on how he operated with merch, and try to take notes and try to be better at it. And yes, what you kind of gotta do.
I'll say this: I'm not calling anybody out, Josh Malloy, but BJ texts a lot faster than Josh Malloy does. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, Josh is a little slow on the old.
Oh my God, he's the worst. Since the last time you and I talked, I've texted him like 3 times. Nothing. Yeah. Like, you know what?
Nice guy. Terrible communicator,
he's awesome.
Josh.
He's the best. Yeah. But like,
he's not and I'm not big on. I'm a bigger texter than I am a phone call guy, but
dude, I gotta say, like, there's something to be said about response times, right?
Yeah.
And if I ranked everybody by like the response time that I get for some people, it's like I've had people not respond for fucking weeks, and then it's like, do an episode, and it's great, and then I'll have people that are like up my ass. And it's like,
I can't even talk here because we talked before, and then I got lost in mine for a while. But,
I'm not even talking about you.
Yeah,
like,
but and while we're at it with like industry people, get back to it, like, and Ted has to deal with this more than we do. I mean, because Dan and I handle it on like the management side of the band, as far as trying to get ticket links and stuff done by venues, and sometimes you just get offers come in and get back to people quick. Like Ted will get back to them, and then it'll be a week to hear something. It's like, meanwhile, when you're doing this, we're putting other things on ice because we're not sure if we have to move things around.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, and then same thing on the venue side. I mean, there's plenty of times where venue people will be like, "Yeah, I've been sick for 2 weeks." It's like, you, like we're not digging ditches here.
It's so funny you say that because it's like, I do everything on this all by myself, right?
Yeah.
I do the graphics for everything. I do obviously this part. There's no editing, so I can't say I edit anything because I don't. But like, there's times where like PR people will email me like artists that, and it's nothing against them, but like they don't have a following, they don't have this, they don't have that, and like we're at a point now where it's like this sounds so arrogant, and I'm so sorry I'm saying this out loud, but like if you don't have like a following and like
because it's got to be reciprocal for
right
to share spread the between the both artist and your platform.
Right. And like I'll have PR people be like, I haven't heard from you in 2 days. It's like I'm the only one fucking doing this, and I have a full-time job, and I have 3 kids. Like, excuse me that your fucking artist with 2,000 followers on Instagram isn't getting the time of day. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and I mean that's one thing. I don't know, I was thinking about this after I screwed up our last.
You did not. You did not screw it up at all. You're totally fine.
Jim and I had a great conversation for 50 minutes, and my phone died, and we lost the whole thing. And it was a really great talk, and this was a great talk too. But anyway, after that, I was like, I just was thinking about that. It's like, I know you knew that I was sorry that happened, but like, I really do appreciate like people like you and other folks that take a passion to do stuff like this that makes a difference for bands like mine. Like, it is really appreciated. Like, and it, no matter like what size you are, you're following or whatever, like anybody that works for the love of the game and love of music, like, man, it goes so far for touring bands in our position, like, because we don't have a big machine doing this stuff for us, and this might be the best way that someone that listens to our music gets to know us better, or someone gets to find out about us. So very much appreciated.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you, right? If you weren't in the sound that I've been going towards in the last year or so, like if you were like a pop country guy, I'd probably be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would just have been like, well, we tried, A for effort, like. But I appreciate you just taking the time and coming back. I really do.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Because it's like I love what you guys are doing. Like I hope to God that one day I get to see you guys live.
Oh, you will. Yeah. Well, it'll happen.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah, it really will. Like the first, I've already been like toying with some East Coast stuff. Maybe just doing some things on our own, and if another vehicle for us to go, if it's something like with Josh or somebody else, like I'll jump on it. Like, and whether it's like profitable or not, like it's something that I just want to do, and I think it's well worth the time.
I keep laughing because we keep talking about Josh and so Liz, right? In Cody Jinx's camp.
No, I'm not super familiar.
No. So she had texted me one day and she was like, "Hey, do you want Kenny?" Like talking about you, obviously. And I was like, and like we had already talked about you coming on, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm already on top of that." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I can't."
Hoping I'm just not remembering somebody that I should.
No, it's fine. She's the best. She's really good. She just knows a lot of people.
Yeah, tell her
she knows a lot of people, and she's like, she's got her finger on the pulse of who's who in that, that whole genre, I guess you could say. You know,
it was probably through working with Ted.
Yeah,
for
probably.
Josh, and then we came around. I bet.
Yeah, because you know she gave me Malloy's number, and like we were on like a thread, and like Josh and I were chatting back and forth for like days, and then it was like he fell off the face of the fucking earth. You know, it's like, oh, you get a song on Landman and you just you disappear. I see how it is. I hope he listens to this and it's like, what the fuck?
All the shame.
Right?
We're doing I think March 8th. We're doing Minneapolis to Josh. I'll bring it up.
You should. You should be like, hey, look at your cell phone.
I dang sure won't text him. I'll do it in person.
You'll probably get a response faster than I would. Just be like, hey, give me your cell phone. This dude's been texting you for weeks.
You got it. I'll do it.
Man.
I'll put it through to the big man.
That would be the best birthday present you could get me, Kenny.
You bet. I got you.
So now that we've shit on everybody, no, we haven't. Music-wise, I guess we should talk about it. What do you got planned for this year?
Man, I'm glad we this conversation got kind of waylaid a little bit because I just I was like working on trying to finish up a bunch of songs here right before I talked to you. Like I have multiple songs I've been working on, and anyway, we're getting back in the studio in 2 weeks, and we'll be recording here at our drummer Thomas Cottonwood Recording in Rapid, and we're gonna put some time in and knock out a studio album. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm stoked about it. I kind of put the cart in front of the horse there, and was like trying to will it because I was like, I got these songs and nothing was hitting me, and I just needed to needed some like kind of deadline to get behind them, and I feel like it just gets away from you sometimes. Like I did 3 singles last year, and they were supposed to be just part of the album, and I just didn't get the stuff, didn't get enough time writing down, or wasn't just hit by it or whatever, and but yeah, so we're gonna do that, and so hopefully by the summer have a new studio album. Probably sooner than that. Should have like a 2-hour live album.
Really?
We record off the board every night we play, and so it's not like anything super fancy, but we just always do it for homework and listen to it after in between traveling, listen to the show, and just for our sake, and so should have a live album from somewhere, whichever one ends up being exactly what we want. I thought it was gonna be
whichever one sounds the best.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have it we just did one in Kansas City the other day, a week or two ago, and I thought we had it in there, and right before we left, I knew the show was gonna be pretty good turnout, and I got sick the day before, and then ran the whole rest of the weekend with ragged out vocals, and so that stuff happens. But anyway, I know we'll get it in the bag here pretty quick, and gonna do that, and then been doing some live tapings with some guys in Iowa too, and so we might do something with them here too soon. But yeah, should have a couple things, and pretty excited about it. I felt like there was a while this winter I was just like beating my head against the wall, just trying to find new things to write about, and I've just always been the longer for as much as I wasn't critical enough when I first started, where I was just pretty much shooting from the hip and not really developing songs, and just putting stuff out there when I was in college and stuff. the longer I do this, like the more critical I am of it, and I try to make sure that we're always putting out, you know, the best we can now. And it was just I was just kind of well ran dry for a minute after did this couple singles last year, and I was really proud of, and then this winter when I was like, I gotta really get the rest of these done, and I think I'm back in the motion now, so feels pretty good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
that nothing feels better than having one hang around for a long time and finally sealing it up, and that's not even, you know, that's just on my side. It's not even getting to it with the band and all the, you know, the whole music side of it, just lyrically sometimes, and it's just it feels good to get them moving again. So we'll have some new music this year.
That's awesome. So when you do a live recording like that where it's off the board and all that, what is the turnaround time? Like, let's say you recorded it this coming Saturday night, right? And it's exactly what you wanted. Everything is great, perfect. Like, how long, like, before you mix it, master it, that it could be ready?
So we're fortunate because Tom has has his own studio. So Tom, like, if we had the, you know, the rough, like all the tracks and listen to it, because we just multi-track record off there, and it's pretty much as quick as Tom can get to it, and then you have your whatever your lag time for distribution, month or whatever, but yeah, we're super fortunate that way that we
That's awesome.
We have that ability, and we're running in-ears anyway, so we're always hooked up to our stuff anyway, so yeah. And then Tom normally he'll just do a quick mix on stuff after the show, and we listen to it. So yeah, we're kind of spoiled that way.
Yeah.
Now,
is that how that works, where you have to, you know, submit it to Spotify and Apple and all that like a month before you actually want it to be out?
So like I use TuneCore for our distribution, and I think it's like 2 weeks minimum is the time. They suggest, I think a month is safe to give you to designate like a day. And it's also one of those things, like the older you get, you also like you try to get, so it's, you try to have a little bit more patience with that kind of stuff, and it doesn't need to go out as soon as it's done. Like give it a little bit of time, and and we're not really big on, you know, like I'm not a social media guru, so the whole you know, several months of teasing shit and kind of over it. I just try to always be very aware of those things when I look at, like, with social media. I try to, like, I can see through a lot of shit because I'm on the other side of it, and I also try to, like, also look at it just from like a civilian perspective also, and try to think about like what really just annoys the shit out of me and what I don't really care to see. So I try not to do that to our fans. So you're not going to see me doing a bunch of cute shit on Facebook or Instagram, and definitely not on TikTok. I was so stoked that I thought TikTok was going away, and now I think it's here to stay for at least a while longer. But I was there's two sides of it. It's just like the streaming stuff, which I champion how great streaming and everything is, and you know, maybe I'm just a little bit removed in the timeline with TikTok, where it's like I can't get with it. I think there is some good discovery that happens, but I think there's also, like, just like with all social media, there's a shitload of people trying to play the game instead of just trying to make good stuff.
Right.
And it doesn't, like, and good stuff is all subjective anyway.
Right.
But I just feel like sometimes it's like it just gets even dirtier when like that's the mode of advertisement, and like we're never going to be like a big flash in the pan thing where it's just kind of going to be a slow grind for us, and like I'm really proud of it, and I can live with that. I don't have this piece of me, like you always want your songs to do really well. Sure. But most of the time when I make something, I think to myself, well, this isn't going to go good with a lot of people, probably. This is just going to be, I'm making this because I like it, and my band likes it, and doing it for me first. And so yeah, with the TikTok stuff, it kind of, I guess I kind of hate on it a little bit just because I just don't really like that whole thing. But yeah, it's social media's been great for bands in our position to be able to to advertise and get your stuff out there. Just the same way with streaming. That people years ago didn't have that access to even to distribution. So well, I wouldn't have a job playing music without the streaming stuff. So it's try not to shit on anything too much.
I just hope that I hope that I get the energy one of these days to like chop up some of these conversations and throw them on TikTok, because it's going to be the first one we do.
Oh. Yeah, I think I normally find a little piece in every podcast to shit on TikTok a little bit, but
that's all right.
Yeah,
that's totally fine.
I just don't like it, and
dude,
it's also
it puts
like
me to sleep every night. That's awesome.
It's also one of those things that it's like with social media, it's like you spend years building things and trying to make, and it's weird for everyone. Like there's some people that they've got massive Facebook followings, nothing on Instagram, or massive Twitter, and like my Twitter and TikTok are just about non-existent. It looks like I just joined last week. Like I just haven't partook of those two platforms, and I don't put any effort into it, and so like I don't have any numbers on them. Like it's just I just feel like it's late in the game, and I'm just not into it. They're just not the ways that I like to talk. And Instagram is about probably the most tolerable for me. I just use it the most. Yeah,
and that's how we are. Like I'll use TikTok, but
I just double post out of my Facebook and Instagram are linked, so I don't have to
think about it.
Feed both beasts,
Yeah, absolutely. And somebody had said to me once, they're like, you really should, do different posts on each social media platform, and I'm like, I don't have fucking time for that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you're also talking to different audiences on each one too. I mean, it's going to be like crossover, but I think you're just you're reaching different segments anyway. Right. That's why I don't ever think about making my Facebook special.
No. Well, while we're on the subject, right? First and foremost, thank you again for coming back, and because this is a whole different conversation than we had the first time.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
It's great,
right? So for people that may not know who you are, like how can people find you, follow you on Instagram, the whole 9 yards, Spotify?
Instagram's just at Kenny Feidler. Facebook, it's still Kenny Feidler and the Cowboy Killers. Like that's what we call the band. I just bill as Kenny Feidler now. I mean, my music's always been released just under my name. There was just like this part of me that was never really too stoked about just having my name be, because like a band is a very, very much shared work experience.
Sure.
And I'm really proud of my band. Like my guys work their asses off, and I've just always, I'm not a big like spotlight guy for being like a front man. So I always had like the band name, for a while, and the billings and stuff. And anyway, the realistic part of me was just like, that's a lot to put on a poster anymore. Like, just use my name. Like, there's no confusion. Like, when I advertise, like, I, I, Facebook won't let me drop the Cowboy Killers from my name. I don't know how. Like, I've tried to get verified on Facebook, and they won't let me do it. And so even like advertising wise, I'll get old folk. I advertise a show, and it says Kenny Fiddler and the Cowboy Killers, and there'll be old folks in the comments bitching that I'm like anti-cowboy. It's like, I was a rodeo cowboy for like 15 years. Like that,
right.
Like the song Cowboy Killers that I wrote, I named my band after the song, and it has nothing to do with like, it's nothing like anti anything.
Right. And, people will always find something to bitch about.
Yeah. But anyway, so at Kenny Fiddler on Instagram, Kenny Fiddler and the Cowboy Killers on Facebook, and I think everything else is, I think I got Kenny Fiddler on Twitter and Kenny Fiddler on TikTok. but don't bother. And
yeah.
But and my website. But I'm really good at, like, I think the best way for and I don't think this is like antiquated yet, but like Bands in Town is such a great platform for us. Like, we use it to house all of our show dates and everything, even on our website. And that's a great app for you to find good bands that are playing, or find your favorite bands, or know when live music is going on around you. Are you familiar, Jim?
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't used it as much as I probably could, but
yeah. Anyway, Bands in Town is by far the best. I in my experience, and I've used it as both as an artist and as just someone that wants to go to concerts.
Right.
You can do it to where it notifies you when a band that you follow is within 50 miles or whatever, when a tour date pops up. That's like a great spot to keep up with bands, because sometimes it's like even with all the social media and everything that's available, the amount of lengths you have to go to get someone to even know about you being in town. It's like,
right.
Like, we have 15 or 16,000 followers on each platform, and a pretty good following on Spotify. There is still such a disconnect in trying to find people that might want to come to a show and getting them to the ticket link.
Right.
And you just got to think about, like, if you have 10,000 or whatever followers, spread that across the world. Like, it's probably going to get you maybe one person in a town that you're trying to go to, so
right.
So that's what we do targeted, geo-targeted ads for every show now, and it's been working good. But
good.
But Bands in Town is like one of those things it's free for us to use, and it can put the tour dates like right in the palm of someone that wants to come to one of our shows. So
right.
that's handy. And I try to just be pretty vigilant about posting dates and making sure they're available in the dumbest ways you could find, because you'll play somewhere, someone will hit you up a week after and say, "When you ever coming here?" And you're like, "I just played there." Like,
right.
Been advertising for a month now,
Yeah. But man, you're killing it. I love what you're doing. I love your sound. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
You're doing it. You're doing it the right way. And I can't thank you enough for doing, now almost 2.5 hours of
oh, that's all right.
of podcast.
No, it's been a good hang too. No, we're so lucky to get to do it. Like, this wasn't the plan, so it's to be able to make a living doing it, and hope my band makes a living doing it. Like, that's a great place to be,
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man. Well, keep going, and hopefully we'll see you out here up in New England sooner rather than later.
You bet. Anything else we need to touch on?
You tell
You all
me.
good? Oh no, I'm good.
I mean, like I said, I could talk for fucking days, but
Oh, that's all right.
it's it's 10 o'clock my time, so it's what 9 o'clock your time.
Yeah, I'm 8 o'clock. Yeah,
You're
So
2 hours behind me.
yeah, we're on Mountain Time.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
Damn.
uh,
So like, you've missed bedtime. You've missed everything.
I'm sure I'll still get my boys are they
You're like, I
probably
didn't miss
won't.
it.
Yeah, they don't get to bed till 8:30, 9 o'clock these days now. It seems like they keep going to bed later, and I keep expecting them to wake up later, but it hasn't happened yet.
Dude, I do that with my 5-year-old. When I have him on my weekends, I'm like, all right, yeah, dude, you can stay up till like 10. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, you fall asleep when you fall asleep. And it's still like, he's up at like fucking 6:45. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I put you to bed at 8:30 and you're up at 6:45. I'll let you go to bed at 10. You're up at 6:45. It's like, what are you doing? Leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm just at, like, mine are 5 and 7, and they're just starting to sleep through the night on their own without Blaine or I.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't have that. We didn't have that problem with our youngest, where it was like, he has asthma pretty bad, so like some nights are rougher than others.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like once he's out, he's done. He's toast.
I always tell people with those, good for you. I'm glad.
You're like, yeah, and fuck you, Jim.
Yeah. No, they're doing good now, so they're staying asleep, and it's good. It was a rough go for a long time, and props to my wife for, like, she holds down the fort when, I did touch on that last time that I didn't touch on this one. It's like, with these, like, being a touring band and, like, at the level where it's not all like, it's not always like super easy or super profitable, or the drives aren't always handy. Like, so lucky that my wife gets to be home with our kids and all the work that she does while we're out doing it, working, and so it's really made it it's special. Not everybody has that, and so I'm really thankful I got like that support, like, and my kids are happy,
Yeah,
like that was like the main motivation for me doing music, being a full-time musician, was to have more time with my kids. So what a good spot to be.
Yeah, when you have a passion like that and you've got a support system like that, dude, like,
oh yeah,
regardless of the money, like you're like the richest person in the world.
Oh no, I feel that way. Like, I feel like, I mean, obviously everybody needs to make money, but I really, like, with this music thing, if it doesn't, people have asked me before, like, man, don't you want a bus, and don't you want this? And it's like, honestly, if it doesn't get any better than this and it maintained where we're at, I would still be satisfied. Like, I'm so thankful to get to do this, and I'm not really seeking any of that big dog stuff, like, you always want to grow and as a musician, and have sold out shows everywhere, but we're really thankful for what we got just even right now, so
right. And you guys are doing great. Like,
thank you.
Like I said, like, get your ass up here.
We will. We'll make it happen. Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate you having me.
Kenny, anytime, man. I look forward to everything that's happening for you this year, man.
Thank you.
It's going to be fun. And, like, I mean, you have my number. Don't be, if something's coming up but I don't see it for some reason, just be like, hey,
I'll holler at you for sure.
Do it. And we'll chat soon, man.
You bet. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, Kenny, anytime. All right, see ya.
All right, see ya.
Well, there you have it. Like I said, part 2, Kenny Feidler. Thank you again so much. Live album, 2-hour live album out tomorrow. Go check it out. Like I said, surprise episode on Sunday with one of the best guests we've ever had. You'll enjoy it. And then Tuesday, Craig Morgan. And what else we got? I'm not sure. We might go see Lee Bryce tomorrow night. I don't know. Might go see Blake Shelton again tomorrow night. I don't know, but we'll see. But thanks for tuning in to part 2. Again, Kenny, thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking all the time you did to get these episodes done. So till next time, guys, keep those boots on the ground and whiskey in the glass. We'll see you on Sunday. Cheers.